the bridge, Bob. Let's talk about the bridge. So I have to say, the first thing I want to say about the bridge is I'm actually getting more and more into the question of just who this killer might be and whether we've met him yet. That's not. I'm not usually so focused on the plot in a mystery show like this, but this one I'm finally getting drawn in that way.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that, but I'm purposely like holding back those thoughts because I hate the guessing game and then ultimately being wrong because there's a low probability. It seems like it could go any direction still.
Fair enough. But we did meet a couple new people, and so if we are meeting new people, then that means we may or may not have met the killer yet, I guess, right?
Right, that's true.
So we got this drug lord guy who we see at the very beginning, right? And he, I guess, is having a hard. So how'd they set it up? They kept saying there's extra attention on the border, so he's having a hard time smuggling it in, right?
Right.
So he has to go to this person who is harassing Charlotte to get that tunnel opened up, and then he uses that tunnel and brings in a ton of money. We see him find Marco. Uh, I, w- I was a little confused about exactly what his motive was. Was it just to try to get this solved so the border would open? Why did he give all that money to Marco to help with the investigation?
Yeah, my understanding was $1 million or whatever the low stake was by comparison was like 1 week's worth of smuggling for this high up drug lord who's making tens of millions. So it was just kind of a necessary fee to pay to make this all go away or something like that.
Yeah, that's what he said. I guess for some reason I'm more suspicious, and like I say, I'm sort of enjoying this being suspicious, even though I can see your point. I'm usually more like you as far as not trying to guess too hard. But now I'm looking at this guy. Got my eye on you, drug lord.
Yeah, I mean he's a likely candidate. He's playing both sides. He could be asking for money and giving it, and it's definitely a possibility.
So the other new person we meet at the end, Linder's got this girl, the guy who talks like this. I think his name's Linder, Stephen Linder. He brings this girl to this. I guess it's like a religious ranch, and she's like, "What can I do for you?" "I'd like a kiss." And so she gives him a little kiss on the cheek / side of his mouth, and I guess that's what he wanted.
That was just weird and creepy because, well, so they're doing some intriguing expose there because on the one hand, you think you already had reason to believe this guy was flaky and problematic and creepy, and then this episode spent a lot of time showing how he's actually true to his word. He said earlier in an earlier episode like he's just helping people, and this shows him
Yeah.
helping this girl, but then his payoff is like, "Oh, I'd like a kiss," and you're like, never mind, he's still creepy. What am I don't know what the end result is of how to think of him, but he's kind of a mixed bag, I guess.
Yeah, sort of mysterious. And it seems like if you just do voice analysis, even though that's obviously not a very reliable way to go, it seems like it sort of sounds like him, the guy we hear his voice garbled, but it's sort of leading us away from this guy as a reason to think of who the killer is.
Right, and then we have the guy that's running the ranch, but he's pretty short-lived as a character that we see. I don't know that we know much about him.
What, you mean the employee of Charlotte, or
Oh no,
the new character we met who runs this religious ranch? I got you.
yeah.
But he's a new person. We don't know enough to exclude him or include him in the suspect list.
Right.
So in the main story, the feds are pretty much taking over this now that it's like this hostage case.
Yes, and there's one Fed. Can you use that singularly? There's one Fed in particular who apparently has a lot of baggage and history with this, and we get a huge reveal on that front. But
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, how much to go through? That was finally a really interesting payoff that we got at the end, where yeah, we just saw this video. So to connect the dots a little bit more here, so they're gonna do this drop. Yeah, and so then this drug lord's money comes in handy. They go to give the money, and he walks into the bar and he's shown the message, and all of a sudden he goes rogue. He takes out his ear, and no one knows what happens to him. I imagine that he saw the video that that everyone else saw at the end, right? And so he
Yeah,
freaked out.
right.
Um, and what was it? I felt like we couldn't quite tell. We saw him drinking and a girl, but I couldn't quite tell if it was like he was abusing her or raping her or something like that, or if he was just having sex with her, or so, I couldn't quite tell what was going on. I hope it fills that in the next episode, but apparently it was something that freaked him out and was pretty damning.
Right. If anything, I mean, best case scenario for the guy is just on the side he's having sex with Mexican prostitutes, or maybe, well, I shouldn't jump to that conclusion. Maybe she's not a prostitute, but he's doing stuff as an FBI agent that he shouldn't be doing. But it seems like it's deeper than that. There's either abuse or something stronger, and obviously the killer, the mastermind behind this whole plot, is pretty well informed with who is going to be assigned to which case. So there's a little bit of a coincidence factor here, but if the show pieces it together later, maybe it all makes sense. But the killer had to know that this FBI agent would be assigned to this case in this jurisdiction and blah blah blah, and have it all come together so that he can make his point specifically for this guy who he would know would go rogue. So it's kind of getting a little bit into that too planned or coincidence driven for me, for my likings, in terms of a mastermind criminal just having everything work out for him. But it's forgivable.
Yeah, he's almost like a Lex Luthor level superhero bad guy.
Right. Yeah.
Um, all right. Let's see. What else do I have? Oh, Sonia. She figures out a way to narrow down where this girl is, and they actually go and find her. She's doing her Sherlock Holmes-ness, I guess.
Right. And again, this is another plot point where the criminal mastermind having somebody make a breakthrough, because Sonia says that like he made a mistake. Check out the shadow here. He made a mistake. Now I can go figure out where it is. They go find the girl before she dies, and so part of me wants to know the alternate reality. Like this criminal mastermind still got away with making his point with the girl being saved. So maybe the girl living or dying wasn't the point after all, or maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking how pre-planned this criminal mastermind does everything, but that sort of seems to be the point at the same time that it's not for certain things.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. If he's getting people killed, it seems to be guilty people killed. Well, I don't know. He killed all those migrants coming across the border too, so I don't quite have him figured out. But I actually kind of like where you're thinking with that.
Right.
That may be part of his plan instead of foiling his plan.
We'll see.
Um, so so yeah, that's about what I have on the bridge this episode. How about you, Bob?
Yeah, it was okay. I have to say, maybe it's because we're in the mid-season doldrums and things are a little more filler-like. I wanted a little bit more. Also, we still don't know why the reporter, I forgot his name, is
Fry.
Fry, why he's such a prominent character from this criminal
Am I
mastermind
such
point
a
of view.
dick?
Yeah, I mean, he's still a dick, and I guess we get it, That's his personality, but why he's kind of the delivery mechanism for every piece of news. And by the way, why he, when getting information, he's still taking several minutes to like relay the information to the FBI or to the police. Like he goes out and tries to do something on his own, like for the third time, and it just feels a little too, for as much of a dick as he is as a low-level local newspaper reporter, you'd think he would just be cooperating more directly with the police at this stage of this huge crime investigation, but whatever.
Yeah, there could be more to that story. Good eye. Good
Yeah,
eye.
we'll see. But I'm hopeful. The show's got me intrigued enough. We're still watching it, even if I guess this episode was neither here nor there. I want more, but I'm ready to see more later.